Hello, friends. I am back with a uh, review session, my sixth one on a book. Today, I am thinking about talking about a book that is quite famous and is sold many millions of dollars, multi-million dollar copy bestseller book uh, written by a foreigner. Its name is Six Thinking Hats. Six Thinking Hats by Edward de Bono, the book I plan to review. It's published by Penguin Books. It's a bit costly book. For a small book it's costly, but it's a nice book. It's around 400 rupees, I think. And the name is Six Thinking Hats. As you can see, there are six color hats, and this talks about a type of thinking, especially in meetings. The classic work about meetings and decision making, as is written here. While decision making, this is used, the concept is used, six thinking hats. So there's a white hat, there's a red hat, there's a black hat, there's a yellow hat, there's a green hat, there's a blue hat. There are six thinking hats. So white hat is about, and what are these white hats and what is the hat I'm talking about? So a hat means you are sitting in a meeting room, many 20 of you or 15, 20 people, and each of them are in a different mood or mindset, and they talk about something and they think in a different way because, for example, you consider a house. The house is in a rectangular form. It is facing east. Let us see, the front area is east, the back side is west, the side is north and south. So when you face or see the house from the east direction, you see in a particular way. Now you go around the house and go to the north direction, you see watch the house, you see a different house, the same house in a different way. Then you go back side view, that is different, and other side view, western view is different. So from the as the direction changes, the view changes. And what is this direction you are talking about? You are viewing from a different angle in a different space. So your mind changed. Your mind changed because the vision, the view in that place is different. So that is a concept. That means the same house, when viewed from four directions, the people will answer in different way. How does the front of the house look like? Answer is different. How does the right side of the house look like? Answer is different. Back side view, that's different. What are all things on the back side? That's different. So view is different. Similar way, this is about six thinking hats, because normally people have difficulty arriving at a common pattern of thinking or a common way of thinking, so that they can find an easy answer to the topic of the discussion in a meeting room, in a software company, or any discussion for that sort, or in universities where you arrange a meeting on a topic on discussion, or a scholarly meeting, or whatever it is. So if you consider that we are all going to follow the white thinking pattern, so then you think in the same way, and then maybe you will reach a conclusion, and you may understand better each other, and you may reach a conclusion much faster than the usual way. It may take hours for you to reach a conclusion, again meeting, another fourth round meeting, fifth round meeting. This six thinking hats, as the author claims, and has been proven practically in many companies, it helps in reaching a conclusion rather quickly, because people think in the same direction. And what are these directions we are talking about? The white thinking hat is about factual talk, or factual, based on facts you take a decision. That's a white thinking hat. That's a normal aristocratic way of thinking, a feudal way of thinking, white hat. Next is the blue, the red hat. Red is emotional color, right? You have different emotions. Intuition is also part of it, I believe. And so in that mindset, if you come and based on emotions, if you take a decision, how it will be, that's the red hat. Then there is the yellow hat. There is the black hat. Yeah, black hat is the typical Western hat. The Western way of argumentative thinking is black hat. Then there's the yellow hat. Yellow is positive way of thinking, very positive, yellow hat. Then there's the green hat. Green hat is filled of energy level, energy thinking. Then there's the blue hat. It's a controller hat. So these are the six types, directions of thinking, the six emotions in your mind when you take a decision. It's not emotion, it's the way your mind works when you take a decision. And these are the six thinking hats he's talking about. So it's the book is fully devoted to these six hats, and that is nothing but all these six hats that is explained in this book. So that is how it is, the white hat and about the hats and the benefits of the six hats. And there are many companies that have been taken advantage and benefited by this type of thinking. So this is his best-selling classic. As is written here, it's a multi-million copy bestseller, Edward de Bono. This is based on the Greek way of thinking. The original Greek way of thinking, as he said in the book, was designed by the gang of three: Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates. So that is the way they think, that is the way their Western logic developed. And you will be surprised to know that there is an order of these thinking hats, that is white, red, black, yellow, blue, green and blue, six hats. And that is the same way in which the modern world, the Western concept or Western science oriented world developed in the last 2300 years. That means first it was white, which is feudal, right? Then white became red, emotional. Red turned to yellow, positive. Yellow is like a sun, red is like fire, and white is based on facts, as I told you, right? Red is emotional, yellow, the third one is black, the third one is argumentative based, followed by yellow, the positive, like a sun, followed by green, energy filled, as you see the greenery around you, the energy filled people. And then the whole world talks about energy, right? Yes. And then there's a blue, there's a controlling person, the software, computer is blue hat. So the order is, as I told you, white, red, black, yellow, green and blue, right? The six thinking hats. So this person made it popular around the world in Europe. That is their original way of thinking. And yes, that's what I said you. So that is the precise order in which 2300 years of civilization developed in the Western world. And as you see today, it's dominated by computers, right? That's the blue hat. And it started with the white hat, the factual analysis and thinking in a feudal way. Then it turned into the red emotional way. It turned later into the black argumentative way. The typical Western way is black hat. It then turned into the yellow positive, sun-like positive way. Then it became energy filled like the green, and finally now it has settled in the blue way of thinking. The computer software is a blue pattern thinking, blue way of thinking. So how is it helpful in the meeting? Yes. So we are talking about a topic, and we want all the people to think about it in almost the same way and arrive at a decision. We want a lot of comments. We want a lot of answers or arguments from people. Not even arguments. We want everybody to talk on the subject. Everybody should come with something from the subject. That takes a lot of time in meetings. If first round fails, you have to arrange for the second and third rounds. So now let's say there is a person who is taking care of the way the meeting progresses, and he or she announces, okay, we are all going to think in the white hat pattern. That means we are talking about facts here. The feudal way, the Japanese way of thinking today, even today, is said to be white hat. It's the feudal way of thinking. And the typical black hat is the logical, argumentative, Western way of thinking based on egocentric thinking. White hat has more generosity and mutual respect to each other. As you see in the Japan never followed the Western argumentative egocentric approach. Japan followed the white feudal way, as the book explained in the book. They respected each other's comments. They listened to each other. Yeah, Even today in Japan, when meetings occur, they listen and listen in the meetings. A meeting happened and many people are thinking with, they are sitting there with a empty mind and they are listening carefully what he's seeing. That sort of mindset is there in modern day, even today in Japan, in the feudal mindset. So that's the white hat. And what is that next hat? The red hat. That's the emotional hat. Emotional. What is your emotion now? You are feeling jealous about a person. You are feeling happy about a person. You are feeling excited about a person. In the same way, everybody talks excited. And there are 12 people, and all of the 12 people are brought, and suddenly a person raises. They were talking in the white hat mode. Suddenly, a person raises, and he said, suppose in case, see now I have a bit angry with that fellow. I want to talk in the red hat mode. So okay, let's all then all shift to red hat mode, and then the argument takes place. Then after that, they changes the mode. Suppose they feel no, now we will shift to the blue hat mode, the control mode, the controlling way of talking, the administrative way of talking. So that is like the mentioning a hat, defining that hat, and the way it talks, and the many synonyms the hats are having, connecting it all together and talking the subject in such a way that all the people think in the same way. The six thinking hats methods. So that is used in many companies, and many companies have actually benefited from this method, as has been explained in the book. There are a lot of companies that has use, and it's a widespread use, okay, around the world. Six hats method is now very widely used around the world. So example there, he's telling about one letter was from the head of research of Siemens in Germany, and the next he talks about another company. See, he's telling they now have 37 internal trainers in my methods, and every department has a special innovation unit based on my methods. So this is based on the concept of parallel thinking, and parallel thinking is like everyone thinking in a particular way at the same time, and that is a pattern of thinking. It's a devastatingly simple technique, okay, based on the brain's different mode of thinking. The intelligence, experience, and information of everyone is harnessed to reach the right conclusions quickly. That's a simple technique based on the brain's different mode of existence and thinking. So that makes the whole team work in a particular way, and that will benefit the whole team. So that feel situation, the red I was talking about, and what will happen, that red emotion, yeah, emotion, right, emotion. If you're feeling based, you will have intuition. So people can talk about their intuition in the red mode. Suddenly a person says, now okay, now let's all talk in the red hat way. So you can talk about intuitions, each of the members. So all of them think in the same intuition mode of talking. So such thinking, parallel thoughts happen in this hat, six thinking hats. This is taught in management schools as well. The people, they are given notes on thinking hats, and they are given articles on thinking hats from magazines in management schools, as I have seen. So green hat, another example, as I told you. What is green hat? Green hat is the energy hat. We think of vegetation, right, around you. Green hat, there is a creative hat, very creative. Yeah. So that's, you are filled with energy, then you expect something, the expectations, the creativity, expectations. Yeah, very expectation. For example, the companies that invent a lot, the product centric companies that invent a lot, they are all full of bubbling with energy sort of people. Then let's think of about the distinct the way they think, and you shift to green hat way, and you think and arrive at an answer using the green hat way, isn't it? Yes, so these type of things exist, and that's the way you should think. That's the book about the six thinking hat way. Edward de Bono. Edward de Bono is a scholar. Yeah, he has written more than 60 books in 40 languages. It has been translated, so they are teaching worldwide. He had faculty appointments at the University of Oxford, London, Cambridge, and Harvard, and been hailed as one of the 250 people who have contributed most to mankind as per Western way. So he has written many classics, and these are his bestsellers. You can check him at www.debono.com, D-E-B-O-N-O, debono.com. This is his multi-selling, best-selling book on what is it about. It's the way of conducting meetings, about meetings and decision making, the way it helps in decision making and meeting. So black hat, as I told you, has been the typical Western way of they argue, and there's egocentric, and they criticize, and that's the way, typical Western way, black hat. And the what I said you in the beginning, that's been mentioned very first in the book, that in the last 2,300 years, the six thinking hats method may well be the most important change in human thinking. So that is the way, the six, as I said you, the color, the white, red, black, yellow, green and blue. That's how the world progressed and is now the blue way. Yeah, the Indians are using software where the controlling using computer software, right? That's the blue hat way, and black way, and yellow way. I told you it's about positive thing. Yellow like a sun, red like a fire. Yeah, yellow is positive. Yellow thinking is a lot of positive thinking. Positive thinking has to be a mixture of curiosity, pleasure, and desire, greed, and all those things. Yeah. So that's a speculative positive. Yeah, speculations, positive. When I became positive, I speculate, right? This may be the case, and there's speculations. So example is like the positive aspect. Kodak, for example, has decided to go into the instant camera market, so they'll have to advise their products that will increase their public awareness of the merits of instant photography. So that is their speculation. Yeah, that's based on something, right? You speculate about something based on your experiences. You speculate. So there are some people who became too optimistic, that is considered foolishness. Okay, that's another case of extreme case of it. But optimism, positivity is a trademark of this yellow hat thinking. Yeah, so in this way, if you think and progress, it will be much easier for the meeting to conduct, and that will help many people conduct meetings before, because in a meeting in a company there are different types of people attending the meeting. They may be from different departments. They may not be very close with each other or friendly with each other. The department head of one department came, another person came, and they all talk about their own subjects. One guy may be from some engineering team, one guy may be from some manufacturing team, another guy may be expertise at something else, one guy may be marketing team. How can these people all together communicate in a best way? So that is the way that Edward de Bono says it to the Western companies and worldwide, six thinking hats method, and it's part of the educational curriculum in management schools, and it is a very interesting method, and their trainers are available to make them think in this way. So that meeting people will now we are thinking in the black hat way. So that's a very argumentative, criticizing way. They will criticize each other, and suddenly they stop, and then they are produced to the yellow way, the positive, speculative, optimistic way. When all are optimistic, then every problem will be solved, and new areas, and see the way the brain thinks changes, right? Yeah, the way the brain functions changes. These are the six ways, as per the book, from by which we can conduct meeting, and different people from different countries. For example, a guy from India may be this way, a guy from Africa may be another way, a guy from China, Europe, US, they may be thinking, maybe the way they think, the way their thoughts get connected may be different. Some thoughts are ruled by emotion, some thoughts are ruled by hardcore logic, some thoughts are ruled by positivity, some are another ruled by hardcore arguments, some are controlling type people, how to control these people, he keep on watching. Some another, maybe some other energy filled way, or let's invent something new sort of people. So there are different people who thinks in different ways, and if you use this Edward de Bono's six thinking hats method as described in the book, with the help of their supporting staff, you will easily able to reach a decision very easily on the topic about which you are conducting the meeting, the problem about which you are concerned. The intention of the meeting will be very clear, and all people will appear as cooperating with each other in a positive way. And that will be interesting because everyone knows how to speak now. It gives it a hat to them, that they can be even intuitive, isn't it? You might have heard of brainstorming sessions in companies where everyone is made to speak whatever they want on an innovative idea, for example. So, six thinking hats is a way in which the thinking pattern, the thinking way, the functioning of the brain is changed to suit, so that people will think in a positive way and they will find out a solution very easily. Thanks for listening. That's my review, my talk on Six Thinking Hats, a very interesting book, and if made practical, that will be really useful to everyone. Thank you.